Yo, 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 what's up, guys? It is I, Steven Savelli from #nerdswag, and we're bringing to you our Nerdswag Nerd Chat episode 3. And I have a special guest host, and we're 51 minutes tardy to go live for all you guys. Hopefully, you guys found the link. We're actually broadcasting on Tim's channel because for some reason he couldn't join my chat.
Yeah,
So we had a live broadcast on Tim's channel. But very excited today. Tim is a fellow comic book YouTuber.
I am.
Tons of history with nerd-related stuff. Today we're gonna play Versus, and since I got a fellow comic book guy, we're gonna do indie versus mainstream. That'll be a fun segment in the beginning, and at the end we're gonna play everyone's favorite nerd game on the internet, Rewind Reboot, where we take 3 franchises from the past and that were part of pop culture, and Tim and I argue on which one should be made into a live-action movie today. So we're going to touch on indie versus mainstream. We're going to touch on the new Guardians movie, Mad Max, Deadpool test footage, all that stuff. But first, you guys know me. I want Tim to introduce himself, give a little history, promote his YouTube channel, talk about what he does and all that. So, Tim?
All right. Hey, yeah, thanks for having me on. My name's Tim Marrant. It's my YouTube channel name. I didn't go I didn't go overboard. I'm who I am. I've been an avid collector of comics for almost 30 years. I'm a console gamer. I've done some tabletop stuff, some card games. I mean, I'm all over the place in my nerddom, and I feel like I'm a better person for it. Steven voiced or came up with he asked if anybody was interested in co-host, and I'm like, hey man, yeah, that sounds cool. So I threw my name in the hat, and we swapped some emails, and this is how all of this came into fruition. So I'm happy to be here.
And after about 50 minutes, we're live.
Yay!
we got a big delay. But
Yeah.
I'll put all Tim's information so you guys can follow his YouTube channel. You need to go and support the guy and subscribe to his channel. That'd be fantastic if you did that.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
all right, so the first thing we're going to touch on are the Eisner Awards, and what that is, that's the Oscars for comic books. That happened this past week. Doesn't get any mainstream attention, of course. They just all go in a room and give away some awards. But I want to cover off on the 4 big awards, which was Best Ongoing Book, Best Writer, Best Penciler, and Best Multimedia Artist. So I'll just go down the list real quick. The winner for Best Ongoing Book, Saga from Image Comics. No big surprise there. Best Writer, Brian K. Vaughan from Saga. There's a weird trend going on. Best Penciler and Inker is Sean Murphy from The Wake. So that's kind of cool. That's not an Image comic. Wait, no, it's not.
No, that's Vertigo. Yeah.
Yep. And then Best Multimedia Artist, Fiona Staples. That's weird because she does the art for Saga. So thought it was interesting. Saga took Best Book, Best Writer, Best Multimedia Artist, which means she just does her art like on a computer using Photoshop. But what do you think about them sweeping all these categories?
I mean, if you look back in comics in the last, like, let's just say 20 years, right? You have all your contemporary stuff. You have your Iron Mans and your Avengers and your, Batman. But for books that are really going to stand up to, like, the test of time, what do you have? You have, like, The Walking Dead, and now you have Saga. I mean, Saga is arguably, like, one of the best written books in the last, like, 10 years. It sounds like such a simple premise, but when they put it actually on the paper with the spin that Fiona Staples does with her art, it really works, and I think that's what helps get this message across to a lot of people. I mean, if you take it back and you look at what it is, some of it's borderline pornographic, and it's a subject matter that isn't really widely, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't have a broad market. So for this book to get a broad market, in spite of itself, I think speaks to the quality of the work.
Yeah, so I actually read my first Saga comic last week. I have a buddy and follower, Justin Miller, who's like, hey, you do all these comic book hauls and comic book reviews, and you're not doing Saga. Like, what's your problem? I was like, true that. Like, I just got into it a little late. I've been a huge mainstream guy my whole life, so I've been recently just dipping my toe into some indie stuff. So, like an awesome guy that he is, he sent me issue number 2, or 1 and 2 on Comixology as a gift free, so that was super nice of him. But
Yeah.
I've read issue 1, so if Saga is not very popular to everybody. So do
Right.
you want to give like a premise? Because I can't. I just
Okay.
read issue 1 and thought it was amazing. I
All
thought it was
right.
great.
What Saga is it's an intergalactic love story. You have
Okay.
two. It starts off with a war. One of the people is taken like a prisoner of war. He falls in love with one of their captives. They escape. She becomes pregnant, and they are on the run from the authorities. It's kind of like a science fiction fairy tale, but
Oh, okay.
it deals with like real issues, drug use and war, and now they're going through a story arc with I don't know if I want to give it away, but yeah,
No,
it's
don't give it
it's
away because I gotta read it. I'm
okay.
trying to
Well,
catch up
yeah,
here.
pick it up on trades, man. It reads great in trades because it can be a little frustrating waiting a month to find out what happens on the next page. You know?
Yeah, I think I might do that to catch up. So they won best book, best writer, best artist, and best penciler was for the Wake. But dang, Saga, Image,
Right,
sweeping. The actual company that won the most awards was I think Dark Horse, because they do all the kid books, or they
right,
do a lot of
yeah,
kid books, and they won a bunch of awards for that. So I want to get into our segment called Versus because we're already starting to touch on it. But this week, with two comic book people, we got to talk about comics. So,
right,
what's great for this is hopefully we can provide some info for people that aren't into comics that are looking to get into them, that are nerds. But we can talk about that a little bit. And we're going to talk about why indie mainstream. And hopefully we could provide some context for all you comic book lovers that are already out there. So, I guess the first question is why do indies win all these awards over mainstream comics? What do you think?
I think you have writers, for example, Jonathan Hickman. We've talked about Jonathan Hickman before, and he's doing the Avengers. And for a lot of people, it's hit or miss. But if you look at it from a standpoint of there's there's not a lot of people that can really pull off writing a monthly book for years. I mean, you have like Peter David and you have Mark Waid, and they're excellent at it. But then you have people that just have a passion for comics who happen to be creators. So they find more personal projects, and I think
Yeah,
they just maybe invest a little bit more of themselves into that, and it shows in the work.
totally. Yeah, I think you have writers who are kind of confined in what they can do when they work for DC or Marvel.
Yeah,
Because there's tons of writers like two of Marvel's biggest writers, Rick Remender and Jason Aaron. They have their own Image books,
right.
so they can go to Image and be like, "This is the story I want to tell with no barriers, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
make that happen." I
Hmm.
guess the one problem, is indie books are really for adults, right? Or like 15 and plus, 13 and plus, depending.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, one of my kids, he's 14, and I hand off issues of Saga to my girlfriend, and I'm like, dude, I'm not sure that that's appropriate, you
Yeah.
know. But
So, I mean, that makes sense that they win all the awards in because there's adults judging who wins these awards, and adult-centric books are winning all these.
right,
At least the major awards. DC and Marvel were barely even nominated for anything.
yeah,
Hawkeye was nominated for Best Ongoing Series, but that's about it. Pretty
right.
interesting.
And the cover artist for Hawkeye got a nod too, didn't he?
Yeah, Matt Fraction. Yeah, he won. I
Yeah,
think he won Best Single Issue Cover Art,
that's cool.
which is a weird award to give away, but yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. So, do you really think they are that much better just because they can provide some good context for adults, or they just written that much better?
Well, I have a perspective on this. I mean, because I've been into this hobby for a long time, and I started out with like the quote unquote like fluff books. I mean, I was a big X-Men fan and like West Coast Avengers. That was my jam back in the day,
Okay.
and those books at the time were like easy listening comics. You know, it was just most of them were single contained issues. Every once in a while, you'd have like a storyline that went maybe 3 or 4 issues, but it wasn't a big crossover event kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
I just it's cool to see people put more of themselves into their work. Did you read Low?
I did read Low, yes.
Did you check out the um, the letter that he wrote in the back about
Yeah,
how?
where Yeah, well, Rick Remender's basically like, I've wanted to do this for a long time, and I'm doing this because I saw an idea and thought to myself, what would happen when the sun burns out? And he
Yeah.
started getting into some like, I've been trying to be a lot more positive lately, so I'm gonna write my first positive protagonist ever, and yeah, I checked it out.
I mean, that's cool that he's putting that out there, and he's using his work as a avenue for that. So,
Oh yeah,
um, as far as like content and some of these, I mean, you still have like super fluff stuff indie wise. I mean, like Bravest Warriors, and my girlfriend's a big My Little Pony fan, and those books are fun, but
yeah,
it's what it is. It's fluff.
gotcha. So out of like the top 5 books that you're reading right now, what
Right.
are they?
Um, Surprisingly, one of them's a Marvel book, but
Yeah,
easily. Here we go. Can you see it? Okay, let's skip that.
I see the
Saga.
Saga. Yeah.
Yeah, Saga. Fatale by Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This is one of my favorites. It ended though, but it's still one of my favorites. East to West is another favorite of mine. Black Science and Magneto from Marvel.
Magneto made your list.
Yeah, Magneto made my list, but honestly, the only reason why I picked up Magneto is because I'm a really big fan of Colin Bunn's writing on the Sixth Gun from Oni Press.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, all right, Magneto. Well, a lot of people like Magneto. He's, kind of the anti-hero right now, right? And
yeah,
Colin
yeah,
Bunn's writing Sinestro right now for DC, and he just kind of gets those characters.
yeah. And it's kind of cool to see Magneto back to where he was, in the late '80s, early '90s. I mean,
Yeah.
they're touching on storylines in Magneto that weren't really wrapped up on Chris Claremont's run in Uncanny back in the day when Mark Silvestri was doing the art on the book. So that's
Hmm.
kind of cool to get a little closure.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'll give my top 5. I am, like I said, I've read comic books my whole life. My dad collected them. He's passed down long boxes to me, and I've been collecting reading. But I really, really got back into it probably like 2, 3 years ago. Really not that long ago, where I've been like every Wednesday, like no matter what, I'm buying them, I'm reading them by Thursday. Uh, Probably the last few years. So I'm just now, like I said, dipping my toe into some indie comics. So
Cool.
I have 2 on my list, but I have 1 DC, 2 Marvel, and 2 Image comics. So I had to toss up at number 5. So I'll tell you what I did pick, which is Detective Comics,
Right?
which is Batman. And I'm not talking about the whole run. I'm talking about just the new creative team that started at issue 30. It's only been, I think, 4 issues. It's just a beautiful book to look at. And the writing is like old school Batman detective writing, where he's like finding clues, doing real detective work. Luckily, he's doing detective work in Detective Comics. That makes me happy. But so that'd be my number 5. But I almost put Uncanny X-Men in there because this new Uncanny X-Men, written by Brian Michael Bendis, has been really good with Magneto in the Uncanny X-Men, and then his interaction with Cyclops after Cyclops has killed Professor Xavier, and like this whole weird thing that's going on with those two, um, where Cyclops is kind of turning into a younger Magneto. It's very interesting. So I almost put that in there. Number 4, I would say current ongoing book Southern Bastards, written by Jason Aaron. It's only 3 issues in, but I just love his writing style, and I really like I don't know, I just really like that book. It's pretty cool. Number 3, I have Deadly Class by Rick Remender. The last issue of Deadly Class is like one of the best comics I've ever read in my life. Um, so I think they're on 6 or 7 issues now.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. And number 2, I have Daredevil. That's written by Mark Waid right now. I love his writing style. And number 1, Thor: God of Thunder by Jason Aaron. So Jason
Really?
Aaron made my list twice.
Right
Yes.
on. That's
Thor:
cool.
God of Thunder is, to me, the best ongoing series I've ever read in my whole life. Um, and I don't know what it is about it. Maybe because it touches on political issues. So the whole first story arc was kind of about religion. The
Hmm.
whole second story arc was about like pollution and society ruining the earth. maybe I'm just really into that adult themed political stuff, which is why maybe I've started to get into uh, like image indie books because they touch on those things as well. But I think this is the one mainstream book that really, I don't know how they let him touch on those things. I mean,
Right.
the first run was about a god butcher, a guy that just went around and killed gods. Super like weird religious context, and I don't know, pretty amazing.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my top five.
Right on.
So, anything else you want to talk about for indie and mainstream? If there's viewers that aren't reading any sort of book, where they should start?
Like this comics in general. I mean, if they're interested in getting into the hobby or just picking up the random thing, there's just find something that resonates with you. I mean, everybody collects different. Nobody has the perfect answer. I don't want to be the person that dictates, hey, you want to need this, this, and this. You know, it's make it your own. If you find something that captivates you, then that's cool. There's a lot of people out there that, for example, like Deadpool. I'm I'm not one of those people per se, but I
Nor
get
am
it.
I.
You know, it's cool. Right on. It's still a comic, and if they're into comics, then that's cool with me. And if they're not into comics, then that's cool with me too. But if just find that thing. If go to your shop, or better yet, just go to the library because a lot of libraries have like you can check out trade paperbacks. You
Dude,
know,
that's something that people have no idea they could do.
yeah. So
Tons of libraries have comics.
right. And if your library doesn't, you know, Barnes and Noble does. Go
Hmm.
grab a stack and plop yourself on one of those big comfy chairs and just find what you like.
Yeah, exactly. So for everybody that's watching, Google Plus Live Hangouts acting really weird right now. It's not all the apps aren't loading. Like I can't see question and answers, and I don't think Tim can either.
Uh,
So if you have any questions or comments, comment or ask your question on the event page. That would help us out a lot. We're on Tim's channel for this live event because Google Hangout is broken.
yeah, it
There's
doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we started like 6 events to try to get this to work, so I apologize for inviting all you guys like a bunch of times. But if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section of the actual event page. So sorry about that. So
yeah.
let's
I'll take responsibility for that. Google hates me.
with Google must hate you. So let's get into the next thing. I could talk about comics all day, especially with someone like you who's read them for so long.
Hey man, you got my number?
I got your number. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we just got to record all of them. Yeah.
Right.
So let's get into Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie. Here's the new book that came out on Wednesday for Guardians. So I went and saw this Thursday night at 7 p.m., the IMAX 3D showing, and I was shocked that the line for the movie went like out and around the corner and outside of the theater.
Wow,
There was not one seat open in the IMAX 3D showing.
that's crazy.
Uh, so you went and saw it too. Was it packed?
No, actually, I met a buddy of mine up there, and I saw his car in the parking lot, and I bought my ticket, or I didn't buy my ticket. I ended up getting him for free, and I walked into the theater expecting a huge crowd and not be able to find my friend, and there was like probably 30 people. But this was Friday morning, so that
Okay, it
might
was
have
like
been why.
first showing or second showing
Yeah,
Friday morning.
yeah. It was the first show on Friday morning. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into a little non-spoiler discussion and review on this movie, if we can, as
Right.
non-spoiler as possible. So IMDb right now has this at a 90 or a 9 out of 10,
Hmm.
which is ridiculous. The Metascore is like a 70 something, and on Rotten Tomatoes it's a 91%. Did you think that movie was that good?
I did actually. I did. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I liked it more than I liked the Avengers or any of the X-Men movies. It's I think what it was is I mean I have a passing knowledge of the Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube is a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan, so he's like my go-to guy for info. But my lack of information and personal investment in the characters, I think, helped me enjoy the movie a little bit more. So I'm not just sitting there picking it apart like, oh, he wouldn't do that. This isn't what would really go down, you know?
Yeah, I totally know. So someone I've been catching up on Guardians. I have back here a foil cover from way back in the day. I've been
Nice.
catching up on the old runs, and I almost want to grab it and show it off.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna grab it real quick.
All right. Yeah. No, but one of the things I really liked about the movie, without giving anything away, is I'm a
What
big
was that?
James. One of the things I really liked about the movie, without giving anything away, is I'm a big James Gunn fan. He's the guy that like wrote and directed the movie. I've been a fan of his stuff for years. I mean, years. Like going back to like when he was doing his independent stuff with Trauma Films. So to see him on something like that and to have it turn out the way it did, I was impressed. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So here's my sweet foil cover from Guardians. It's one of my favorite covers I have. These are so inexpensive. You can find these on eBay for like $1, but it's just with Galactus. Oh man. Anyways, I was saying that I've been reading Guardians and catching up, and I think they got all the characters down pretty perfect except for one, and I think that was Gamora. Zoe Saldana. She's all right. I thought she did okay, but she didn't come off as the most dangerous woman in the galaxy, which is what Gamora is in the comics.
Yeah.
She didn't give me that vibe for 1 second that she was the most dangerous woman in the galaxy. But other than that, dude, I agree. I'm going to go and see it with my fiance again tomorrow morning because we're going to do a full review for my channel. But I enjoyed it more than any other Marvel movie I've seen, for sure. So it was really good, and I can't believe I'm saying that. Like,
right. That's what my girlfriend said when I came back. She's like, "How was the movie?" I was like, "It's good." And she goes, "Wow, you liked the movie with Bradley Cooper in it?" I'm like, "Shh, don't tell anybody."
Speaking of Bradley Cooper, he destroyed it as Rocket Raccoon.
He did. It was awesome.
He was absolutely amazing. Well, first off, what I hate about voice actors is when I could tell who the actor is.
Yeah.
It totally throws me off. So I would never have known that was Bradley Cooper if they didn't advertise that. So Rocket is the most endearing character in any movie for a long time.
Yeah, there were a couple parts in it where I got a little like, poor little guy, but it was good.
So when he gets into we won't spoil it away, but we obviously get background of every character.
Yeah.
And when he breaks down into the background of his character in like a very angry, sad way, man, I felt that.
Yeah, it was really good. It was pretty powerful animated raccoon scene in the movie. Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah, so I would say I'm gonna watch it again, of course. But leaving the theater, my favorite Marvel movie I've seen. I had a great experience. I laughed. I got excited. The visuals were stunning. The whole opening scene with Peter Quill and Star-Lord going into the cave in IMAX 3D was so unbelievable. I was like in shock and awe the whole time.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So everyone's saying this is this generation's Star Wars. Would you agree with that?
Actually, the guy that I went to the movies with, he goes, "Man, that's like the best Star Wars movie I'd ever seen." So
that's awesome. Are you a big Star Wars fan?
I am. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to the next 3 that are coming out, but that's just me being picky and yeah.
Totally. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. We get a ragtag group of people, and they did all the characters really well. I would highly recommend this movie. People should definitely go and see it. The only, I mean, do you have any negatives for it? I mean, they didn't really give too much to Ronan.
No, they didn't. But what they did do with Ronan, I think, worked. My only lament about the whole movie is I spent all of the time after I've seen the movie talking about the very end, and not like the Easter egg thing. I'm talking about when Drax was sitting there sharpening his knife, what was going on in the foreground. That's been like the you know.
Did you not like that?
No, I did. It was cool, but it's just like that's the image that after watching the movie I come out of the theater.
Oh.
You know, because we're gonna see that everywhere in the next like 4 months. You know it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So I went with my fiance. Doesn't read Guardians, obviously.
Right.
I didn't know. It's like the people only because of me, and I've kind of explained it to her. But her favorite character was Groot, and
It was awesome.
so we go into the movie. I mean, what's awesome about that is the guy says 3 words: "I am Groot," and Rocket says, particularly in that order in the movie.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He says 3 words: "I and M and Groot," in that order. But for a character that says 3 words to be people's favorite character, that's some pretty damn good writing.
Yeah, and I think the CG on Groot helped too. His face was pretty expressive. You know, the few times that he like broke loose. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the end. You know.
The end. Yeah, that helps. That helps. Yeah, that helps make him a fun character for sure.
Yeah.
So they had a huge surprise appearance by somebody towards the beginning of the movie, not towards the end.
Yeah.
That was very interesting way to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually thought it was kind of off and felt a little weird. I don't know your take on that.
If we're talking about the same thing, then yeah, it was kind of random. But
it was kind of random, and to be 100% honest, I didn't really care for the voice.
Yeah.
That voice sounded weird. Anyway, anything else to touch on for Guardians?
Go see it. It was good. It was better than I was thinking it was going to be, and I had high hopes. I mean, there's talk about like it's going to be the new Avatar. I don't know, but it was good. I enjoyed it, and I think Drax is getting a little shadowed here, but the guy Batista, who
Dave
knew?
Batista.
I mean, he was so deadpan in that when he needed to be deadpan. It was awesome.
Yeah, for a WWE wrestler to be put into one of the, I mean, they're saying it's going to be the largest August release of all time.
Yeah.
For a WWE wrestler to get some shine on that, pretty big deal, and he killed it. He was so funny.
He was.
He's like, dude. Yeah, I laugh his first funny comment. It's so hard to talk about without giving stuff away. But his first funny comment where Rocket's like, "Oh, his race takes everything literal. Like you can't say metaphors. They'll go over his head." And he's like, "Nothing goes over my head. I will jump and I will catch it." It's so good.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. I'm getting all giddy just talking about it. I need to go see it again.
Right on. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next topic. Did you see the new Mad Max trailer?
I did. Oh man, I'm stoked. It's about time, and for the guy that did the original trilogy to get back on the revamp, that's thumbs up in my book, man. I'm excited. That's gonna be awesome.
I don't have too much to say about that except it looked really, really good.
Yeah.
And they got Tom Hardy, right? He's the main character.
Is it Tom Hardy?
What's his name? The guy that played Bane.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tom Hardy. Yeah, he looked great and looked really cool. I'm not a huge fan of the old Mad Max movies, but maybe because it has to do with before my generation, or I don't know what it is, but I have no like connection to those movies. But yeah, looked cool.
Yeah.
All right, next thing is Deadpool test footage. Did you see this before they took it down everywhere on the internet?
No, yeah, I saw it, and then I watched that. I caught that video where Rob Liefeld was talking about it, and somebody just needs to make him go away. But I think the Deadpool movie, if the Deadpool movie happens, is actually probably gonna. Deadpool seems like he would be a better fit for movies than comics, just because like the way he handles them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's certain characters that will work definitely in a film versus in a comic. Like Galacticus, for example, would be horrible in a movie, but I think Deadpool is totally going to work as a movie.
Yeah. Have you seen House of Cards?
Yeah.
The Netflix show?
Yeah.
So what's cool about House of Cards is Spacey talks to the audience, like looks in the camera and talks to the audience, which gives this cool kind of connection to the character. Yeah. Deadpool would do that, or would do that. He does in the comic books, he breaks the fourth wall. And in a movie, it would kind of be funny to see him always look at the camera and talk to the audience. Yeah. People really resonate with Deadpool. There's a few characters that people go crazy for that I don't understand. One is Deadpool, one is Harley Quinn. I don't understand the mad attraction to these characters.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when what was it, issue 98 of the New Mutants came out. He was the character that not a lot of people were really like stoked about. There were like 3 people that was their first appearance in a book, and the other 2 kind of outshined him for a while. It was weird.
Yeah, I just don't get the mad attraction and love for him. But he was in a recent story arc in Marvel, the Battle of the Atom X-Men event. He's actually in the future X-Men. He was kind of cool. I like how he was written there. But anyway, getting back to the Deadpool test footage, we have Ryan Reynolds
Right.
acting as Deadpool,
Right.
and it's a few minutes.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty damn funny and awesome. I thought it was cool.
It was funny and it was awesome, and I mean, it'll work. They'll make some money off of that. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Okay, so next thing is 3 Star Wars comics were announced by Marvel to start next year. We have just something titled Star Wars, which will be written by Jason Aaron. We have Star Wars Darth Vader, which is written by Kieran Gillen. And then we have Star Wars Princess Leia, written by Mark Waid. Are you going to be reading any of these new Star Wars books?
Probably not. No. A friend of mine though, he's a big Star Wars fan, and he's into the comics, so I'm sure I'll hear about it. And if he says they're worth it, I might pick them up and trade. I mean, Princess Leia is a Disney princess now, so.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in any of them. There's been so many Star Wars books from Marvel, from who's
Dark
doing them now?
Horse,
Dark
yeah.
Horse. I'm definitely not interested in Princess Leia, and the only thing that would make me read that is because it's written by Mark Waid. I might check it out.
Yeah, he might be the saving grace in that book for sure.
Yep. And the main Star Wars run will be written by Jason Aaron, and I love his writing style. But Kieran Gillen, I'm not too big of a fan of, so probably won't be reading the Darth Vader one.
It could be good. Who knows?
It could be. It's going to sell millions of copies, at least the first issue.
Star Wars #1, yeah. That's a 3rd print book right there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so last week was Comic-Con, and I did a live chat before Comic-Con ended, and like hours after I ended, the Wonder Woman costume came out.
Right.
So, I don't know about you, but I think it looks absolutely ridiculous.
Do you?
Not the costume. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
I thought the costume was very Xena Warrior Princess cool. I kind of dug it.
It was very Xena Warrior Princess cool. It was a little drab though too. You know, I was expecting something maybe with a little bit more color.
Yeah, so they got rid of. Well, it's weird in comics that she has the stars and stripes when she's the Amazonian and she's not American. So it's always weird when you're like, why has she got stars and stripes, red, white, and blue? I don't get it. So I like that they went away from that because it wouldn't have made sense in a movie.
Right.
But I like the actual costume. I think she just doesn't. Going back to Gamora, it doesn't look like the most dangerous female in the galaxy. Gal Gadot just doesn't look like a powerful being.
Yeah, like she's going to pick up a car and throw it at you. Yeah, that doesn't... Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess there's been so much commentary about this in the last week, there's not too much to say. But I like the costume. I still don't like the casting choice.
Sorry about that.
Oh, hello. Hello, dog. But yeah, I guess not too much about that. So something that's really exciting is Interstellar. They released a new trailer for that, and Christopher Nolan needs to make every movie ever created.
I agree. At least the good ones.
At least the good ones, yeah. So I love that he recycles all of his actors. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then they did a teaser trailer for this like a year ago, and I was hooked. But this new extended trailer, absolutely fantastic. Was this your first time seeing any?
It was, yeah. I mean, you pointed it out to me, and I was blown away. The premise sounds cool. I'm a fan of Matthew McConaughey, honestly. So, and put him in a Christopher Nolan sci-fi movie, right on. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Super awesome choice. I totally agree. The premise looks amazing, and of course, the cinematography.
Yeah.
You can't beat a Christopher Nolan movie with cinematography. They look great. And then in the trailer, they even show them flying around like this reflective silver sphere thing in space.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? I need to see this freaking movie right now.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Then like it shows them actually landing on other like an ice planet and walking around on different planets. It looks so good. Yeah, I
That's
don't know.
awesome.
I need that. That comes out in November, right? Something like that.
Hopefully sooner.
Yeah, I've been missing out on some like legit sci-fi movies that weren't superhero movies. But
Yeah.
next up, have you seen the Birdman trailer?
I did. I watched that too from the guy that brought us 21 grams in Babel. That's
Yeah,
going to be something. I love that cast. Michael Keaton
Michael Keaton.
and
So, is this
I
art
would
imitating life, where he's like playing an actor that used to play a popular superhero that's now doesn't have too much of a career?
I,
I mean,
you,
is that
you
him playing
could
himself?
potentially yeah, maybe you could read into that, but yeah.
Because that's kind of the spot he's in right now, right? I mean, he's a
Yeah.
huge popular superhero, and
Yes.
now he's
He's in
nothing.
RoboCop.
He's in RoboCop. Yeah. So this is another one that like yeah, Emma Stone's in it, I think.
Yeah,
Michael Zach Galifianakis is actually looks like he's doing a dramatic role, no comedy.
right.
Um,
That's
it's another one that just looks amazing.
yeah,
I was blown away. I had no all of a sudden Birdman trailer hit. I didn't even know it was coming soon. I just knew they were working on it,
right.
but after watching it, absolutely fantastic.
And judged by the director's previous work, I mean, it's going to be amazing. Babel wasn't the easiest movie to watch because it's a little long-winded in places,
Yeah, that's
but
the one with
just
Brad Pitt, right?
yeah, the way he deals with the emotional aspects of his characters, I think is really cool. There's a lot of personality in his films, so that's
Yeah,
going to be good. I think for Michael Keaton and Birdman.
totally. And then another trailer that got dropped on us in the past week is Tusk by Kevin Smith. So
Kevin's.
you wanna lead on this one? You might know a little more about Tusk than I.
Um, it's his new horror comedy movie. It's this guy who does podcasts about weird stuff gets this message from this guy from Canada, says, "Hey, I have this story I'd love to tell you." So the guy drives up to Canada to meet this guy, and chaos and mayhem ensue. It um
Yeah.
it looks interesting. Uh, I'm one of those few people that probably liked Red State. You know, Kevin Smith's last dramatic movie.
I liked it too.
Yeah. So,
Internet Pound.
but it could be cool. I mean, it would be nice for him to kind of get away from the fart jokes and the weed humor, you know. So
Totally. He's even doing those in comics with his Batman Green Hornet comic.
yeah,
His Batman 66 Green Hornet comic, yeah. I think he's a good dramatic writer. I recently bought his old run on Daredevil, the
right.
Guardian Devil or whatever. I bought it in trade
Hmm.
on eBay, and he's pretty good at writing some dramatic content.
Yeah, he did a really nice run on Green Arrow too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So those are pretty cool. Any other stuff that happened in this past week that we need to talk about? Want to talk about?
Hmm.
Hmm. I think
Not that.
that's all the stuff
Yeah. It
we want to
was.
touch on.
Yeah. I think so. I think we hit all our bases.
I think so. Well, if you guys have any other comments for Tim and I to talk about, leave them on the event page of the Google Hangout, and we'll cover those off after we finish our next segment. So our next segment of the show is the best nerd game on the internet, which is Rewind Reboot, Rewind Reboot, where we take 3 franchises from pop culture history and we pick one that we would want to make into a live action movie today if we had an endless budget. So
And
the
Christopher
three that
Nolan wasn't busy.
and if Christopher Nolan wasn't busy, that's who I might have, yeah, do my movie. So there either need to be a past TV show, whether they're animated or live action TV show, or a movie from the past. So our 3 today are we have Captain Planet. You know you're a Captain Planet fan.
Oh yeah.
Gargoyles, the cartoon, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Which one, Tim, would you make into a live action movie today?
I'm gonna have to go with Captain Planet, just because that last I Frankenstein, who was in that? the guy that played Two-Face in Batman.
Yeah, I don't know his name either.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was Harvey. Harvey
that
Dent.
came off as a Gargoyles movie for me. So I'm gonna go with Captain Planet. I just think it would be
I
cool.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I'm gonna go with. I don't like agreeing with the co-host here, but I'm going Captain Planet as well. I totally agree. When I saw I Frankenstein, I was like, Gargoyles? Is that what
Yeah,
this is?
yeah,
This is Walking.
that's what it came off as.
And I don't think Sonic the Hedgehog would translate too well to movies.
No.
I don't know what you would try to tell as a live action movie. This Rewind reboot was submitted by Michael Keefe, who's another NerdSwag contributor. So if you guys have any that you want to submit, you could comment them now, and Tim and I could do another one, or we'll use it for next live show. So Captain Planet, Gargoyles, Sonic. I'd have to pick Captain Planet, but still that one, I don't know how successful that would be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would depend on how far they push like the whole environmental thing.
Totally. If they made it adult themed and really pushed the environmental, where like different people from around the world came together to save the environment, you can make it pretty mature.
Yeah. Just get him out of that red and white costume with the green hair. Yeah.
Captain Planet looks so tight though. He looks so good. That's so funny. Yeah. Yeah, that one was pretty easy, I guess. Captain Planet.
No, I mean a Gargoyles movie would be really really cool, but I just feel like I just saw one. You know.
Yeah, I refused to watch that I Frankenstein movie. Was that actually a good movie or bad?
No, it wasn't good at all. No.
No, it wasn't good at all. Have you seen Lucy, the new Lucy movie?
It's on my list. I'm a huge Luc Besson fan, and the preview looks amazing. I'm definitely all into that. I just
Okay. So I saw that last weekend. I didn't put it on here because I forgot until right now. Yeah, I saw it. It's a mix between Limitless with Bradley Cooper, who you hate, and The Matrix. Let's say it has a Matrix Limitless vibe to it. Yeah.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, I guess I did like it. What I didn't expect at all was it to be a movie about evolution. I didn't know it was gonna have such a heavy hand for evolution over like a god religious figure. I didn't know it was gonna be so heavy-handed about that. From the first scene of the movie, it's pushing evolution to the 100th percentile.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I love watching both sides of that spectrum. I just didn't know that's what it was gonna really boil down to. From the first scene to the last scene, it's 100% about evolution. Pretty interesting.
I'll check it out.
The trailers were a little misleading that way. I thought it was gonna be about some girl that gets like these superpowers, which she does, but I didn't know what context I was gonna be in. They didn't really say that in the trailer. So. But I thought it was great, and my fiance loved it. It's very rare that we get a sci-fi movie like this with a female lead.
Right.
So that's kind of cool, just for the fact that we get a strong female lead in a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, what was the last one? Aliens?
I think so. Yeah, there's not many at all, which is a big reason why my fiance went to see it so bad. She's like, finally, a type of movie that you like that has a female lead. Like, I'm all on board for this. Yeah, so it was a good mix for us both. But I guess that's it. Let me check the event page real quick and see if anybody submitted anything. I don't think I see anything. We have Justin Miller saying, how many of the references did you see during the collector scenes? Oh, okay. He was talking about the collector in Guardians of the Galaxy. How many references did we see? I'd have to watch it again. Oh man, I saw. Well, it's hard to talk about it without giving stuff away.
Yeah, there was a couple of them. It's like, oh, that's yeah. But
that's yeah. So I'd say I probably saw like 4, which isn't a lot because there's probably a plethora of them. But I was just my eyes were like, everything. That movie was so bright and colored and so interesting. The set design and costuming were really good on that movie.
Yeah, and I thought the stuff when they were in nowhere was pretty cool. That set was awesome.
Oh, Nowhere was so cool. Yeah, they did a pretty good job with Nowhere. And it looked kind of like the comics too. They did really
Yeah.
nice translation there. Um, One thing I guess that happened in that scene was how they explained the Infinity Gems to come into existence. That they actually were six that built the galaxy and the universe. I don't remember that being where they came
Yeah,
up in the
I don't
comics.
remember that either. I'll have to pull out my books and recheck that, but that wasn't how I remembered it either.
Yeah, totally not how I remembered it, but I like it because it made sense
Yeah,
in a movie, right? Because you're building a real universe with real people,
right.
and I felt like that made the most sense for them to use that as that.
Yeah, rather than just like, oh, just because it's the Infinity
Yeah,
Gem.
whether
Yeah,
better than being like, oh, these are magical. It's like they actually had a purpose and there's a reason why they're so powerful and stuff like
yeah.
that.
But
So we've seen
didn't the Collector already have an Infinity Gem?
he has two, right? He has the
Yeah,
Tesseract,
the Tesseract. Yeah, that the
and he has
Asgardians gave him.
and he has like the ether, right, from Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah. So he had three. Why did they just take the one?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, why did the Guardians only take the one out? They should have took
Yeah,
the other two.
yeah.
That's it's a very
So there's like a
That's a very
pile of
fair question.
rubble. Oops. And
There's a
there's like
pile of
this.
rubble with just a Tesseract sitting somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't think
crazy.
about that at all. Wow, good point. Yeah, because in the comics, the Collector has them all when Thanos shows up
Yeah.
in the Infinity Gauntlet, right? He shows up and really beats the Collector down and tricks him. But
Uh,
the Collector only had one, actually. He didn't have all of them.
he's got three now,
Yeah,
or two.
Thanos in the comics like goes around to each person that has them and kills them and takes them. Huh. But yeah, the Tesseract was just chilling. Maybe that is a great criticism of that scene. Man, why'd you have to ruin that movie for me?
Sorry. Just think of the end.
Ah,
Just think of
just
the
think of the end.
end.
That's so funny. Yeah, huh. All right, fair enough. I don't think there's any other questions submitted. We probably don't have as many people watching as normally would because we're on our sixth broadcast for the day for the Nerd Swag Chat.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, Tim?
Not that I can think of, man. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. If you want to do this again, just let me know, and hopefully we can figure out the. Google hates me, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Google hates you. Yeah. Yeah, no, this has been tons of fun. I love doing this, and what's super sweet about it is we are people in the world that can connect about one common theme of nerd-related stuff. Like, it's
Yeah.
so cool. I never would have thought in my lifetime you could just do this with somebody and broadcast live to the world,
Right.
like very easily. Well, today wasn't very
Usually.
easy, but yeah, pretty easily, and you could connect with people from all over the globe. It's pretty unbelievably cool. So
Yeah, that's been one of my things about my experience here on YouTube. It's like I have friends now in Australia, in the UK. I met you, so it's been all nothing but good. It's pretty amazing if you think about it.
yeah, that's actually a fair thing. So yeah, I guess we tell the audience I live in California right now in Southern
Yeah,
California. I'm from Washington State, from the Seattle-ish area. Where are you at right now? I don't think we touched on that.
I live just north of Kansas City, Missouri.
Boom.
Yeah,
There's another, yeah, Kansas City, Missouri. Nice. Is it fun there?
yeah, it is. I mean, the Midwest gets a lot of flack for being like just a flyover state, but I mean, there's always something to do. We have our own sports teams. We have you know what I'm saying? They're not going to give like a NFL franchise to anybody, but we got
Yeah,
one.
true that. True that. That's so funny. We have an NFL franchise. That's awesome.
We won the MSL Cup last year. So what's up?
The MSL Cup.
Major League Soccer.
I'm proud of you guys.
Yeah, we did it. They did it. I watched.
I'm very excited for football to come back. But so you're there, and yeah, they're connecting with people all over the internet. It's a pretty damn cool thing. So
Yeah.
Tim and I will probably do this again with him guest hosting with me. And if you are somebody out there that wants to join one of these Nerd Swag chats, just send me an email at #nerdswag@gmail.com. I'll put all the info down in the description. I got my links to all this stuff. Where are we at? Down here-ish to our Facebook and Twitter. You can always hit me up there. And we don't always have to do comic book centric chats, which this one kind of was, turned into a comic book chat. But we cover all sorts of nerd stuff. So if you're somebody that loves video games, we can do a video game focused chat and hang out and
I can talk about Borderlands 2 all day.
Dude, we can talk about Borderlands 2 all day. Yeah, we might have to do a video game one with just you and I. But maybe in the future we'll have a panel where it's not just two people. It could be a handful of us that are hanging out for these chats. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. It was awesome.
All right, guys. Check back next week, hopefully, for another Nerd Swag chat. If I can get it working with another guest host, I don't know who it's gonna be yet. So hit me up if you wanna do that. Other than that, you need to go to Tim's YouTube channel, which will be down in the description, and go subscribe because he's awesome and is a sweet YouTuber. So, any last words, Tim?
No, man. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for inviting me and having me on and persevering through all the technical problems. But,
yeah, technically we're on your channel, so you're gonna have to end the broadcast by clicking the end button somewhere. Cool. But everybody, I will see you guys next time.
Yeah.